The city of Budapest is divided into Buda and Pest, and yesterday in the previous video we saw Buda, but today we're seeing the other side, the other part of this beautiful city here in Hungary. Welcome to the side of Pest. Now Pest is one of those places that is full of historical sites just like in Buda, but they're a little bit different and they are on the other side of the river. Pest is, after all, on the east. It is on the east side of the river. So that's what we're going to be exploring today. Pest is a beautiful place and we're going to start off our day today by heading right to the central market here in Pest. I genuinely thought that this was just going to be like a little market, like the markets we saw in Central America and Mexico, but this is massive. Like, I think to truly go around, you'll probably need about an hour to really get a feel of this market. I mean, it is one of the oldest markets here in Budapest. It's very, very big. It is huge. And they've got all these different sections. I mean, we're on the first floor right now, the entrance floor. This is where you have your produce, your fruits, your vegetables, your meats. But I think as you go up, I think there's food, I think there's souvenirs, I think there's so many, all these different things that you can buy. But it's where locals, actually, I feel like a lot of locals are actually here buying their ingredients. Now, I have seen some tourist groups, so it's not completely free of tourists because this architecture is really like one of those like classic French style sort of beams architecture. So this is still quite a touristy place, but it's still incredibly, incredibly beautiful. And like I said, it's a mix. You've got some locals here, you've also managed to have some tourists that visit the site here. But what I see from the map, at least, there are 3 different floors. So currently we're on the ground floor, there's a first floor, and then there's a floor below. The floor above is just mostly souvenirs, from what I understand, and then the floor here, the floor below, are usually just more produce, meat, vegetables, foods, fruits, things like that. But it's incredibly big. It's not just 3 floors, but it's 3 really, really massive floors. I mean, just the main area, that main sort of hallway, it's long, it is massive. And I'm sure like you could fit probably thousands of people in this building. It is really, really big. And just like that, we've left the main market here in Budapest. I have to say, it's massive. It's really, really big market. You can get lost in there, although it's not like a maze, it's quite structured. So lost in terms of like all the different things to see, but not lost like geographically in terms of location. But definitely a great place to come. One of the main icons here in Budapest. So come here, come on the Pest side, and come check out the market. Just like on the side of Buda, there are a lot of buildings here that are religious on the side of Pest. A lot of churches, that used to be mosques when they were colonized by the Ottomans. But this is one of the most beautiful churches right along the Danube, actually. It's the inner church of Budapest, of Our Lady of the Assumption. Let's go check it out. Well, that is another beautiful church here on the side of Pest. It's a nice church. It's a really, really old church too, but nothing really particularly special. It's very yellow on the inside. I don't know why. It's very, very yellow, but not very big either. It's actually quite a small church. It just looks big. You can also go up to the tower actually at the top to have a great view of the Danube and the rest of Budapest, but it does cost money and I'm not interested in doing that, so let's go see what else we can see on the side of Pest here. Right behind me is one of the main squares that you should visit in Budapest if you are here in December, because this is Vörösmarty Tér, which is Vörösmarty Square. And you might be wondering, why in December? Well, because this place turns into a Christmas market, a massive Christmas market at this square. It's named after the poet Vörösmarty, who is a very famous Hungarian poet. But during the summer, it's just really hot. There's not that much. There's just some trees, and of course, there's the statue of Vörösmarty himself there's actually a big mall that you can see right behind me. So it's really modern. It's, you know, you've got H&M there, you've got a Hard Rock Cafe, you've got a Starbucks somewhere around here probably. It's quite touristy, but in the center of it all is this little park, this little square. And like I said, if you come here during Christmas time, you've got to come here for the Christmas markets. I've heard it's amazing, but at least in summer, it's just a nice place to walk around in the center of Budapest. Right around the corner from the earlier square we're at is this park right here. This is Elizabeth Park. It's, again, right in the center of Budapest, and it's a very small park, and what it's famous for, of course, is the Ferris wheel of Budapest, which you can see right behind me there. It's massive, it's white. It's not the biggest I've seen. I feel like it's one of the smaller ones actually in Europe. I think the one in London is bigger, but you know, at least Budapest has its own Ferris wheel that they can say that they have. I don't think there's actually anyone on it right now, so I don't know if it's working or not. But again, just another small square, another small park. We've got locals walking around, enjoying the sunshine. It is a great place to be, especially on a hot day like today, under the tree shade to protect you from the sun in Budapest. Ooh. Oh, this feels good. Just a little bit of nice, fresh water. Oh, on a hot day like today, that's the best thing to do. We have now arrived to probably the most important, the most famous basilica here in all of Budapest. This is the St. Stephen's Basilica, and I think it might be the biggest in the city. Let's go inside and check it out. Right around the corner from the Soviet War Memorial is this beautiful building, and it's probably the most famous symbol of Budapest. When you think of Budapest, this is what you think of. This is the Hungarian Parliament. That is probably the most famous and the most beautiful building here in all of Hungary, maybe all of even Eastern Europe. It's beautiful. This structure is a neo-Gothic architecture. There are massive protests in the front, and there's a lot of security, a lot of police, a lot of military people there as well. So I don't think we're actually able to go in, but just from the outside, that is beautiful. That is stunning. And of course, like from here, you can see there's like Fisherman's Bastion, which is right over there, and you can see the castle, which is that dome all the way down over there. I mean, this is literally what's used today as the Hungarian Parliament. They use it today, which is why it's so heavily protected, but it is beautiful. Budapest has one of the largest Jewish populations historically, and still does today. And you can see right behind me there's a kosher shop, which is when you know you've made it to the Jewish quarter here in Budapest, when you start seeing kosher shops and you start seeing Hebrew written all across this area. But this is a really old area of Budapest, and like I said, the Jewish quarter, we've been to the Jewish quarter in Krakow, now we're in the Jewish quarter here in Budapest, and it's now like really nice. You've got like hotels and things, but you can still see the influence of the Jewish culture. There are synagogues around here. We're gonna go see what we can check out in the Jewish quarter, but this place has now turned into like a hipster cafe area, but the history here is still remarkable. Now, I told you guys that we were gonna visit some synagogues here in the old Jewish quarter. We've come to the first one, and probably the only one for today. This right here is the Dohány Street Synagogue. It is the largest synagogue in all of Europe, and it's really beautiful. I mean, just looking at the tiles from the outside, you can tell, like, this place is incredibly beautiful. Now, do keep in mind that if you do want to come here, although they close at like 6 p.m., the tickets are sold out an hour earlier. So if you do want to come, you do need to come a little bit earlier. Like I said, you know, this is a really big deal here in the Jewish quarter. There were a lot of Jews that lived here in Budapest this would be their sort of area that they would go and pray. And Fridays after 3 p.m. are completely closed because they use the synagogue. They really do use the synagogue even to this day as an area for prayer, an area for worship, which is why it is stunning. But yeah, just keep in mind the times and of course the price if you decide to come and visit this place. If there is one thing that you have to see in Budapest, that is sort of the arts and musical center of this city, it's the Opera House. And we've just come inside and it's beautiful. Let me show you. That is probably one of the most beautiful buildings I've seen in all of Budapest. The golden ornamentation, the chandeliers, the staircase up is beautiful. Now you're technically not allowed to go inside into the opera like theater where like the seating is and everything. That's simply because, you know, they don't have a show. You're not allowed to just go in and check it out. But the entrance itself and everything up to the theater you can basically access, and it's already beautiful by itself. It's not very big. I was actually surprised. It's quite small. The entranceway is quite small. You can't really pack thousands and thousands of people. It's not like a big concert hall. This is just like a little opera theater here in Budapest. But it is beautiful. It really, really is incredible. It's sort of like a monument to all the beautiful famous musicians here in Europe, and it's stunning. It really, really is stunning. The architecture inside is incredible, and not many people are inside, so it's a good thing for me. Less people, more beautiful shots. Absolutely stunning in the Opera House. Final stop of the day, we have come to one of the most beautiful places here in Budapest. This is the Heroes Square. In the center of Heroes Square there are the 7 Magyars, I think that's how you pronounce it, which are the founders of modern day Hungary, and you can see they're surrounded by this like sort of thing that goes around behind this big monument. But there's also like a tomb there at the front. I don't know what it's for, but it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. The monument is massive. I mean, just look at how tall that monument is. But we're just gonna chill here. We're gonna wait for the sunset. And I think the sun's just gonna set right over there. It's gonna be absolutely stunning. Well, night has fallen here in Budapest. The sun has set, and you can see the beautiful tower right behind me lit up with the lights. It's stunning. It really is beautiful. But that has been it. That has been our tour of the site of Pest here in Budapest. And I have to say, love Pest. I absolutely love it. Now, you might be asking, you know, why not any hills? Why not any mountains? Why not any viewpoints today? Pest is a very flat part of Budapest. So Buda is the place with all the mountains, all the hills. That's why you have Fisherman's Bastion. That's why you have the hill, Gellert Hill. But Pest is flat. So there's not really a great place for a view of Budapest from Pest. If you want a great view of Budapest, you go to Buda for that. But still amazing. I mean, all the important things are on Pest. You know, the St. Stephen's Church, the Basilica, the Hungarian Parliament. A lot of things are in Pest still. So you still need to visit Pest to have a good sense. And you know, the Central Market Hall, those are all on this side of the river. But still, it's been an absolutely beautiful day. Absolutely amazing. I know there haven't been a lot of incredibly beautiful drone shots or any cinematics like that. That's simply because there's so many police. There are massive protests that are currently going on in Hungary, and there's a lot of police presence. They're everywhere, so it's kind of hard for me to sort of film those things. But nonetheless, Budapest has been an absolutely amazing city, and that's going to be our last video here from Budapest. It's not our last video from Hungary, but it is our last video from Budapest, and it is really, really beautiful. But regardless, that's all I have for you guys here. You can see the sun has completely set now, and the tower is completely lit up. So it's time to head back. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. What an amazing time I've had in Budapest, and it is a beautiful city. It really is an incredibly beautiful city. Make sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.